All I wanted to do was cowboy. That's it. We throw some cattle in the round pen. I'd get ready to leave. I kind of peek over the fence, see what's going on. And I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "This is cutting." And I told him, "This ain't no cutting where I come from. That horse stopping." I tell you, the last 7 years has been the best time of my life ever. My wife, to this day, she doesn't believe it. If I wouldn't have found her and had that little boy, I probably wouldn't be here. I've been sober for 7 years. I ain't had a drop. I mean, I ain't sniffed it, looked at it, nothing. When I have word with the Lord, you know what? I used to be like, "Can you help me? Can you help me?" And anymore, I tell him, "Just keep showing me the path. I don't want you to give me anything. Just keep showing me the path." People always say, "Clay, why do you help so much?" Helping somebody through a run. And the part I live for anymore is when I see disaster strike or coming and I can help fix it.
Guys, welcome back to the 817 podcast. This week we have a very special guest, the one and only Clay Johnson.
Hello, Cody. Thanks for letting me come.
Well, thank you so much for coming on here, man. I know you're one of the guys that I looked up to growing up, and it's funny now we're getting to do the same thing. But you're kind of a hero to everybody. You're kind of the guy that everybody turns to for advice and for a laugh, and you're always willing to talk. And so let's get into it, Clay. How are you? How's everything been going?
Man, it's been going good. We've had a good day today, and just to touch on what you just said right there, I think people ask me questions for all the bad decisions I made up until about the last 10, 12 years.
Well, I like that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. So Clay Johnson, what year did you win the fraternity?
I won the Super Stakes in 2012 on KR Isidore Duel, and then I won the fraternity in 2013, Dual Smart Kitty.
That's
First
awesome.
time to make fraternity finals, and lucked around and won it for Rusty and Shelley and German Barwick. It's kind of got my career back on a roll because it had gotten pretty shaky. Yeah.
So let's just get into the whole life talk and where it all started. You grew up in Post, Texas, born right there.
Yes, sir. Born in Post, and me, my mom, dad, Clint, and Cliff lived Dalby's till I was probably 13, and then Dad decided he was going to leave the ranch, and he moved us to town for about a month. We didn't fit in well. And anyways, they moved up on top of the cap and bought a place, and then the real world, really, that's when we started learning. Yes, sir.
Right there.
Right there.
That's pretty cool. So how old were you when y'all moved there to that place?
I think we left Dalby's when I was 13, and then, like I say, we did about a month in town. And then we moved up top on top of the cap. And Dad always had colts, and he did not want us to ride colts. He wanted us to do something else. He wanted us to do something, make some money, and it wasn't in my plan. I didn't like school. So I got through junior high fine. Freshman year was kind of okay. 10 and 11, it was cowboy time for me. And
you hung up the schoolwork.
Yeah, school didn't work for me. And at that point in time in Dad's life, it didn't work for him either. So all I wanted to do was cowboy. That's it. Wherever he went, I followed. So probably right there at the start of high school, I went to work for Jeff Williams, and I really learned. We rode
a bunch of colts.
We rode broncs, but a lot of people don't know. When I went to work for Jeff, we built fence in the morning. If we weren't gone branding or shipping somewhere, they had a fencing crew. And the worse I was, the more fence I got to build. And
You was on that fencing crew.
I stayed on the fencing crew every morning for a long time. Yeah, the more bloodshot my eyes were and the hungover I was, the more he said, "Let's build fence."
So who would all been out at Jeff's right then? Do you remember?
When I did my stint there, it would have been me, Weldon Smith, Sean Beavers in and out, Rod Smith, Rocky Pace. Jeff had a rough crew. We was all pretty heavy on the bottle, and I wasn't old enough to drink at that point, but it didn't matter. I teased my dad all the time. When we lived at Dalby's, Judge Dalby was also the judge. And I told my dad, I don't think the judge is going to lock us up. And he said, y'all are pushing it. Yeah. So, yes, I probably wasn't the best younger person. And I don't, and I make light of it now because I have a great life.
You have changed.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Found
I
the
have.
Lord.
Yeah. Big time with the Lord.
Got a great wife.
Oh man, I've got a good wife.
Sure do.
And I'm going to touch on something here, and I hope it doesn't mess us up.
No, sir. Go for it.
With my wife to this day, we've been together about 13 years, 12, 13 years. And to this day, she doesn't believe it. If I wouldn't have found her and had that little boy, I probably wouldn't be here. I've been sober for 7 years. I ain't had a drop. I mean, I ain't sniffed it, looked at it, nothing. And I'm gonna tell you, I did plenty of it before and a lot of other bad stuff. But anyways, I had two great sons, Cutter and Justin. And, but I tell you what, I live a life now that, probably about the last 2.5 years, this big man upstairs
Got a hold of you, didn't you?
Yes, he did. And I tell you, a lot of people don't know this. I can get emotional, and I'm gonna do my best not to let it happen here.
You already making me emotional.
Yep. And but I can get emotional. But I'll tell you, this family I got now, Kelsey, Crane, my older two sons, Cutter and Justin, and my parents are still alive and kicking, and but
in-laws, everybody. I mean, it's great.
I'll tell you, Curtis and Brenda Weeks. I would never have an opportunity like this. They're some good folks. No matter what crazy idea we come up with, they'll try it. They'll give it a whirl. You want to buy a horse like that?
Let's get it.
Yeah. Yep. And I could name some examples, but they know which ones they are. But anyways, back to the deal. I'll tell you, the last 7 years has been the best time of my life ever. I have a new grandson. But one thing I will touch on is the Lord. And I'll tell you, if you don't have him, you better get to finding him. Because
you never know.
Yeah,
you better know.
You better know.
You better know.
You better know. Yes, sir.
I love that.
Yep.
Well, I know from growing up, I grew up watching you rope, and you were also one of the I grew up wanting to be a cowboy, and
yes, sir.
Obviously we seen you were one of the cowboys.
Yeah.
And you were always a hero to me, but now that I have a wife and kid, and I get to follow you, and it's cool. I was telling Taylor before you got here, that I've always looked up to you and so many other people than me. I mean, you've got a long jig line behind you, I can promise you, but it's so cool to me to experience before and now to me, because it truly is a testimony, and it truly is a testimony to what the Lord can do for you. And you always have a choice, and you can change with one decision. You
want to change, you can change. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I love that. So back to when you were at Jeff. So when you were riding colts and broncs there, is that what give you the love for horses?
Sir. No, I did a stint there, and then I'll touch on this briefly. I got married first time. Anyways, it was time to go. It was time to grow up. I moved to Muleshoe, Texas, and for some reason I thought I needed to go to work in a feedlot.
Oh, not John. Oh, time out. I do know where you're going with this.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I did me a pretty good stint at the feed yard.
Muleshoe, Texas, not John Anderson Muleshoe.
No,
I got you.
Muleshoe, Texas. I worked at Bovina Feeders my first time for about a year. Worked for Guy Walt by me and Mickey Brashears went same time. We was both so broke, new families. Me and Mickey is there about a month, and it's. I mean,
wasn't there a good story about when y'all pulled in there or something and unloaded?
Yeah. I'm a handmade junkie. I tell you, I like handmade boots, and well, my dad told me when I pulled out, son, you better leave that stuff here. I said, no, sir, I'm taking it. I pulled in that feed yard. I had handmade saddles, boots, anything.
Good equipment.
I had a nice, I unloaded her. About a month into it, I got to figuring out what Dad was talking about. That acid off that cow poof about eat every handmade thing I had up. And I asked them boys in the feed yard, why ain't y'all's saddles getting eat up? They say, we buy the cheapest saddle we can find. It don't rub a hole in their back. So
hello, Corriente.
But we were there. Me and Mickey, we was there. We rode pins together with Guy Walt. I'll make it real quick. We was there about a month. There's a deal at the feed yard called the high-end feed yard. Well, those are like 3 weights coming right out of the sale barn. It's no fun. We got moved right there.
And y'all doctored 24/7.
We did a good job for about a year. We both quit about the same time. And but we did them a good job. So I get to ranching fever again, and I went to Muleshoe Ranch now.
To John Anderson.
Yes, sir. And I did me a pretty good stint there. And, well, then I stayed there for a while, and we cowboyed, and like I
there
say.
There at
Gale. I lived at, what was the name of that? I don't remember what the name of it was. But I lived
camp off the highway.
Yeah, camp there off highway.
I think that's where Cheyenne was born.
Yeah.
I think that's where Steve was.
Yeah, I stayed there for a while, and lo and behold, it come full circle, broke again. Well, the feed yard called, said, we'll take you back. I loaded them up again, and we headed out again.
You
back.
got any kids by this time, Cutter?
Nope, not yet. No, not yet. And I mean, about all we can afford is bread and Coors Light. And
had plenty of it.
And we had plenty of Coors Light. Yeah. So anyways, we go back. Long story short, I stayed there about 6 months. An old fella come across the feed yard one afternoon, and I see him. He's about 6'5". I mean, he's a big fella. He drove down there, talked to Guy Walt for a little bit. He waved at me, said, I'd like to talk to you on your day off. I don't think nothing about it. My day off, I'm living in town, little apartment. He knocks on the door, said, come go with me. I'd like to talk to you. Well, it's Alan Scott. Well, Alan, we drive around, and we go by these paint horses, and then we go by hundreds of yearlings. And he said, I'd like to hire you. I'll move you in this house. He shot me a number back then. I don't know what it was, but it was enough. I said, yes, sir. I'll be there in the morning. I'll be there in the morning. Well, I worked for Alan probably 6 months. And lo and behold, all of a sudden, Craig Thompson shows up. I don't know who he is. You know, he shows up wanting to work.
Two-time. This before he's two-time.
Yeah,
though.
no. He shows up. We throw some cattle in the round pen. I get ready to leave. I kind of peek over the fence, see what's going on. And I said, what are you doing? He said, this is cutting. And I told him, this ain't no cutting where I come from. That horse stopping, turning. He said, yeah. He said, come on in, hang out with me a little bit. Well, I do that, and lo and behold, we get to be friends. Well, he's down at Curtis Chester's, and all of a sudden, something happens there. I decide I've had enough. Well, Craig's getting ready to take over Strawn Valley. And Pete Branch called me because he was in front of Pete and said, you want a job? Yeah. Yep. Riding colts. Well, by the time I get there, something has happened. That no need to elaborate on it. Craig's my boss when I get there. We roll in there, and I mean, I've always been able to ride colts and all that good stuff. And he says, there they are. There's about 70 head of them out there. Me, Zach Baldwin, Cody Hall. We all we meet up there. And I rode broncs good when I got there, and I rode them ranch broncs professionally when I left.
Because y'all was just one after another. Just
no time.
Bring them.
Saddle them, get on. We got to go.
Bring them.
Anyways, we go through a big crew. That first year, we get 70 or so of them. That next year, we're all thinking, no way there can be this many.
More.
103. I'll never forget the number. To the day I die, I'll never forget the number. I'd never been so tired in my life. They just kept coming. We went through so many cowboys or whatever they were called. It was son of a gun.
Just whoever you could hire.
Anyways, lo and behold, it's time for Craig to go. Well, I'm not staying. So I meet Bubba Matlock.
Oh, Bubba.
And I go to work for Bubba. And I think I've got Cutter by now, probably. And anyways.
Where would a Bubba been now? This is down here around Weatherford?
No, I think we would have been at Tom. I think I left there and went to Tom Lovett's, I think. Yes, I'm not real sure. I would have made about 16 stops before I got to where I am now. But anyways, I met Bubba. I learned a ton from Craig, from peeking over the fence, and that's all we could do, peek over the fence and trot on. Anyways, I went to work for Bubba. He showed me a little bit more. I would not advise this tactic in cutting. Lo and behold, it's time for me to go again. And I don't know if I moved to Bettina's or back to Shadow Oak Ranch, one of the two. But now I've thrown myself out there. Anyways, it ain't going.
Now you're a full-on trainer.
Now I'm a full-on horse trainer with zero experience, really. Anyways, we rock along there. It's kind of working. I go back to work for Bubba again at GCH. And then that's going to get us up to somewhere.
That was just right here around the corner.
Just right here around the corner, yeah. And that's going to get me somewhere to around 10 or 11, probably. I went to work for the car hands. And I win the Super Stakes.
KR Isadora Duel.
KR Isadora Duel. I'd borrowed so much money from Jim and Gay that I think it paid $100,000 that night. I'd never been so happy to hear $50,000 coming my way. And I think they wrote me a check for $13,000. I think I had borrowed that much money trying to stay in. Well, anyways, then I go back to Jeremy's.
Jeremy calls you.
Yeah, Jeremy, let's go.
And he basically comes to get you, helps you get to Stephenville.
Yep. So we go along there. I get a call out of the blue. Jeremy, I need you. Come back. I've taken on what we all know. I've bought Western Bloodstock. Come on back. It's time. He said, what are you doing? I said, I'm starving to death. I'll never forget the words he said. How much money you need me to send you to get you back out here? And he said, tell me the number. I'll get the money sent to you. I'll have you in Stephenville tomorrow morning. And I said, I'll never forget. He said, come on. And I said, Jeremy, I think I want to come. I ain't sure my pickup will get me there. He said, if it don't, call me somehow and I'll get you. Anyways, I get back there.
So what a blessing that was.
Yep. I get back there.
And this is the time when he bought Western Bloodstock and he's busy. And so he's stepping out of the training pen.
He's busy.
And he did. It's unbelievable what he's done.
Yep.
But so that would have been Dual Smart Kitty. That's whenever you had her as
I think I went there and
that would have been my very first year to pre-work And I remember you working her. You had several good ones.
Yeah, I can't remember if I went in May or June. I really don't know. Doesn't matter. I get there, and Jeremy had a set of customers that were, these horses are making me look like I really meant to win the Super Stakes. And, and then I get Dual Smart Kitty, and anyway, the deal goes on. Me and Kelsey kind of we start dating a little after the futurity. She probably killed me for this off and on. And then anyways, it all led to a great deal.
Absolutely.
Her dad bought a ranch over here off the Dale Circle. I believe we moved there in 15, me and her and Cutter. And then we stayed there up until last year. Corky and Brenda bought another new ranch over here, and we sold that one, and now we have
growing this new one.
We have a nice facility that I'll never be able to repay them for.
Well, I tell you what, you've earned it. I know that, and so have they. That's what's cool about it, to see two people come together like that, and how all y'all have made a awesome family.
Yeah, it's
a very family run business. I mean, your wife wins a lot. Kelsey's won many championships, just like you inside the Will Rogers.
It's a full on family deal.
Your sister-in-law shows a lot. Your brother-in-law trains a 2-year-old.
Chase rides all 2-year-olds.
And what a job he's done.
It all starts from Kelsey, Corky, and Brenda, and now Katie's bought a few mares. We try not to buy any studs, and that's going to be the deal. That's when I said they're pretty much up for trying anything that I think I can make work. Well, we bought a few studs. They didn't work. They didn't even come close. Matter of fact, I'm healing on one of them. But their program is something that every mare we ride, we try to win 100. And it's me, Kelsey, Katie. We got 3 routes to do it, and we got to get it done. That's what we want. We want mares that's won 100 plus. And lo and behold, we've messed around here, and now we
got a handful of them.
We got a handful of them, and announced to a little old country boy from Post, these mares can have more than one baby at a time. And I tell you, we've built a program that hopefully is going to kick off to where one of these days my goal would be just to ride our horses, the Weeks and mine and Kelsey's.
Absolutely.
And we're building towards that, and I hope it happens. Maybe it don't. I don't know.
Well, and listen, if you are looking for a great young prospect, hit us up at 817 Horse Sales, and we'll get in touch with Clay and Kelsey and get you out there. You know you love that.
Oh, man. Did you cue him? Yeah. But, I mean, I can talk about hundreds of things. But lo and behold, you know what? I wanted to be a team roping header, rodeo. The guy I look up to, there's lots of guys I look up to in that heading. Lovell, Driggers.
Yeah,
I wanted to be them. My buddy JoJo Lamont, I wanted to be them. And where their reach is here to 25 foot, mine was about 11. And that ain't enough. And I'm glad it didn't work, because from what I came from as a young man to now, I go to dinners that cost more than what I'd make in a whole month down there, and, my life in cutting and performance horses at this point is, only the good Lord could have looked that far ahead and thought,
drawn it up,
and thought, Clay, you're about to be 47 years old here at the end of the month, that you would have lived this long. And without the right people, my mom and dad, my mom's always been a Christian. Without my dad getting saved and also becoming a very Christian fella, and without Kelsey and her mom and dad, me seeing what a real family's supposed to look like and stick with, it's, I tell you, every morning I drive out. I call my dad somewhere between 5 and 6 o'clock if I'm not at a horse show, and I'll drive around there and I'll talk with him, And he don't like to talk on the phone, messes up his cigarette smoking.
Pasquale.
Yeah, what do you need? But I tell you what, that's something I look forward to, because it's not always going to be there. So, but anyway, go ahead, ask me something. I can keep talking forever.
Well, listen, I wish you would, because that story right there is a true testimony, and like you said, when you got to see a family, what a family's supposed to look like, it's cool to me, because I look at y'all now, and I see the same thing. That's what a family's supposed to look like, and I tell you what, I love whenever you say, no, I can't, because I'm going over here with Crane and Kelsey. We're going to eat dinner, or we got something planned, and
it's took me a long time to get to that point, and I never wanted. When I was growing up, young, old, high school rodeo, junior rodeoed, and I'll tell you, when sometimes I'll get them to talk, and when I hear the sacrifices they made for me to do that at a young age,
it's pretty amazing.
It's pretty amazing what they could do,
When you knew how little they had to give.
Yes, yeah, and and then I hear the stories, of Kelsey's side of the family, before the feed yards and all that,
how much work it took to grow into that.
Oh my goodness. When they tell, when I hear the stories, and to see the light, and I love to use the word light, to see the light of everything hard work can get you. It ain't sitting on the couch or I hate this saying, must be nice. I don't like that. How about if you want it to be nice, pull your boots on, let's go. It's just like today, you know what? I really, what I wanted to do after Graham? I wanted to lay up. You know what? 5 o'clock.
We got 3-year-olds to work.
Here we go. Let's go again,
Grant, going to go work with Grant?
Yep. Grant said he might could throw it together, so we're just kind of.
Grant, that's an awesome new family. Him and Sawyer got married, had a little baby.
That's another deal. You want to talk about how the world comes together.
That's so true.
There it is.
Yeah. Yep. And in fact, I'll be hollering at Grant. He'd be a good one to have on here.
Yes, he would.
Yeah, I know he's been doing daddy duties. We know how that is when they're that young, but it's cool to see a guy like him too.
Yeah.
Fall into that, and it's got a hold of him strong, doesn't it?
It's got a hold of him strong, I mean, we all used to run and buck and kick and play, but if I wish, it was just the plan God had for me, I guess.
And you know what? How lucky are we to get to sit here and talk about how we used to, and now we got the chance. Not everybody gets a chance, and I appreciate how you said earlier, if you don't know, you better know. Yeah, and you can make one decision. You can get to know the Lord, and He can change your life.
Yeah, a lot. I do talk to a lot of people because apparently I'm pretty approachable anyways, no matter whatever. But I tell them, say, look, none of this comes without hard work. None of it. And good folks. There's no way around it.
Surround yourself with great people.
Anymore, unless you come from, you got to have some change to get started in this. I would be scared to death as a young trainer right now. There's so many of us that have worked so hard and got established, and then I see them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I know what you're going through, bud. You better keep working. You better keep working.
It's tough.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of hours, a lot of work go into running an operation.
A lot of debt. You've got to learn to swim through it and keep clawing for the light up top. Because, I mean, unless you come from a little change, I mean, you clawing. I tell you,
better pull your boots on a little earlier.
I tell you what, I feel like I'm in a very good spot. And I'll tell you what, after I've been on the road for a month or so, I get a little nervous at the end of it. I can't imagine somebody starting out. Yeah.
That's pretty good. So what advice would you have for a young guy starting out right now other than get to work, keep your head down, pull your boots on? And
for me, if I was going to tell somebody getting started, I'd tell them you need to go find somebody.
A program.
That's established. And dedicate you 2 years to it, at least, at a minimum 2 years. And I mean, get ready to learn. If you see a bucket laying, pick it up. It's not.
Give it your all. That's the only way.
You better be able to dedicate a couple of years to just get, to me, the basics. I've had I've had a boy that just left. He worked for me 2 years, and I tell you what, I could be gone, and I know the horses are getting worked the way I've showed him for my program, and now he's moved on, and I have 2 new ones coming up, but it's like I told them when they start. Listen, they're like, well, when do I get to work a horse? When you can. When you can. I mean, anybody can get on one and pull here and there and kick and mean absolutely nothing. I would tell them 2 years and get ready to learn. Like, don't have a little success and think you're better than the guy showing you how to get the success.
That's very true.
I feel like that bites a lot of them in the butt. They have just a little of success and they're like, well,
I got it.
See ya.
Yeah, I say that all the time. When I had to leave when Taryn left,
Yep.
and I wouldn't change it for the world now, but
Yep.
like you said, when you started, you had 0 experience, and that's kind of, I mean, I'd been at Corey's, like you said,
Yep.
and I watched as much as I could,
Yep.
and Taryn too. They taught me a whole lot, but
Yeah, you're talking about
it's a struggle, boy. When they throw you into the wolves with like Craig Thompson and Paul Hansma and Taryn, and I mean, there's so many, Adon, and I mean, the list is huge. Matt Gaines, Phil Rapp.
You could name them for
Ronnie Tag. I mean,
you can name them forever. And I'll tell you, the field's not getting softer.
No. And then you even we ain't even touched on out west.
Yeah.
Morgan, I mean, that list is just as long.
There's horse trainers every part of the world in my mind now that if they pull up with the right one, they can get you.
Oh, absolutely.
They can get you anymore.
Holland last year, it was, the cool thing to me is we'd go to some oddball places. Mm-hmm. There'd be somebody show up that I never seen in my life, or a horse I had never seen in my life.
Yep.
And by golly, don't think they weren't coming to get your money.
Yes,
and
sir.
they would.
Yeah, they will. I tell you, anyways, we're that the world we live in for cutting for me and my performance horse deal, and the breeding part, I couldn't ask for anything, but I wouldn't want anything better, and I'll tell you, when I have word with the Lord, I used to be like, can you help me? Can you help me? And anymore, I tell him, just keep showing me the path. I don't want you to give me anything. Just keep showing me the path, and it seems like, the last 2.5, 3 years it's gotten stronger and stronger. I always wanted to, but I would get strong and weak, get strong, then weak. And the last 2.5 years, I'm not perfect by any means. I still have a few, we call them uh-ohs, or sometimes
whoops,
crazy, sometimes psycho, sometimes, but
no, I get
it.
They
come back to
fail
me.
Every day.
They come back, anyways.
That's what's so awesome about his forgiveness.
That's it.
And if you accept him, it's amazing what his forgiveness can make you feel
what
inside.
he can do for you. Yeah. It's a great life, great bunch of folks, you know.
Well, the NCHA is really just a huge family like that.
That's my thoughts on it, and I think it's getting stronger. You
You're
know,
right.
the NCHA, you know, there for a little bit, I was like, uh-oh, what's going on here? And it just seems like it's the moment I thought that, the next show,
Boy, they just keep
pretty
stepping
strong,
it up.
and then a little bit stronger, you know. And now, you know, I have a great new little ranch, and I don't want to leave it, but I tell you, I'm ready to get to the Will Rogers. I'm ready to crack back out in there.
I am too.
You know, I'm ready to settle a set in there, you know.
Well, you're going to get to.
Well, I might. But
I hope you ain't got one of them cheap saddles you was talking about, because you're going to be in it
yeah,
about 18 hours of the day.
I try to let all them old saddles go. And I'll tell you, it's like I told Kelsey a couple of years ago. I was in a slump, and I said, you know, it means more to me to watch you win. You know, it sparks me back up, you know, and she'd say, well, you need to win, you know, and you need to win. And anyways, now things are picking back up, but a lot of people always say, Clay, why do you help so much? And I just wanted to touch on it because I like it.
Well, you got a big heart.
I do. I enjoy the fact of helping somebody through a run. And the part I live for anymore is when I see disaster strike or coming and I can help fix it. And I don't know why, but you know, I just wanted to touch on it a little bit because people always ask.
That's why you're in my corner.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like you're a guy that, well, I mean, you're a cowboy.
Yeah.
You can get us out of binds.
You know what I mean? I just like it anymore. I put a set of horses together, and you know what? It's really not work. You know, it's just
a blessing.
Helping. Yeah.
That's pretty cool to hear. That's pretty cool to hear. Well, and you and Lloyd help everybody that I know.
Yeah, we help a lot. We do.
It's a lot of hours.
Yes, sir. It's a lot of hours.
A lot of friendships. That's what I think so cool about it is the relationships too that you form. You know,
Yep.
I know we have a lot of fun when we're down there helping them long days and nights. And that helps me too from having your morale when it's
I like to
8 or 9 in the evening, and we've been doing this for 2 weeks and getting up at 3 every morning. And some of them guys don't understand that.
No,
you know, and they don't understand why we don't want to go eat afterwards. And
no,
them old days are long.
Those are long days. They're long days, but they're fun. And but I deep down enjoy helping, you know, and some people say, well, I don't use you because you help so much. And I say, hey, you're not hurting my feelings. I just, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I'm here if you need me.
You need me. Some of them, I tell them, if you want to win, you might put me in.
It's just the truth, too. That's so awesome.
Nah, it's just jacking around.
And speaking of that, never be scared to help, or never be scared to tip your help, because these guys do stay in there a long time, wear out a lot of tack and a lot of horses.
There's lots of horse flesh goes down. Yep.
Well, I can't thank you enough for coming on.
Oh, you bet. I hope I did you justice. I felt like I'd just been rambling for an hour.
It's actually unbelievable.
Yep.
And what's the future plans for Clay and Kelsey Johnson performance horses? And
well, my long goal is we're going to keep raising horses. You know, me and Kelsey are going to need to get us another broodmare here pretty quick.
We got a few selling this Saturday.
Yeah, you do. And one in particular, yep, you do. But that our plan is we're going to keep raising and selling. You know, Chase does an unbelievable 2-year-old job for us, and we're gonna, you know, hopefully at some point in time that I'm just riding ranch horses that either Kelsey's mom and dad have raised, or chasing Katie or me and Kelsey is the long-term goal. I would like to get to where I train 6 3-year-olds instead of 20, where I take 10 on the road instead of
30.
somewhere
40.
around there. Yeah. You know, at some point in time, I would like to, you know, I'd like to slow, you know, I would like it to slow down, but keep making money. And you know, I'd like to go back to jackpotting and
roping a little bit.
Oh man, I've got probably 40 head of little potentials there at the house right now, and that roping box, I bet it ain't had 40 head of steers run through it in a year and a half. You know,
Right.
You know, and you know it. I mean, that's my passion.
It's hard to do both.
Oh,
And especially at this level that we compete at.
Yeah.
I told Talon that just went to work for us, and Spud, he's down there roping all day.
Yep.
Well, I built that arena, and I'd love to go down there and rope, but if you're going to compete guys
Yeah.
against you better be up here working these horses.
You better get your main. My philosophy is you better get your main job done before you do any extra.
Yes, sir.
Yep, that's I mean, I'm going to work cutters before
Anything else?
before the chutes get banged for sure. You know, but hopefully it slows down in the next, I don't know, 5 to 7 maybe. Hopefully I got that much longer. I hope.
I bet you do.
Well, I'm gonna try. Yeah.
I bet you do. What if you could leave the world with any quote or any saying, and you don't have to rush into this, but if you could leave us with anything, what would it be?
If I was going to leave the world with one quote, I would want it to sound something like this: have God in your corner at all times, keep your family close, work hard, and enjoy life. That would be that's what I'd like to leave. You know, when one of these days when they throw dirt on me, I hope I hope the people I've touched have time to come by and say thanks, or I hope my kids are happy. You know, none of them want to cut, and that's my own fault. And I'll never hold it against them. It's my own fault. I burned them. But you know, that's what I would want to leave. I would want everybody to, you know, to have God in your corner. That's the main thing.
And then family.
You got to have,
And enjoy life.
You got to have all those. And I think if you have those, no matter what you're going through, you'll come out with a smile.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's what I think.
Well, y'all heard it here. Clay Johnson.
Thank you. Thanks, Cody. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man.
Yep.